Hello, 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 hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to stream. Welcome, 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 welcome. Hope everyone's had a fantastic Sunday. Sunday, the 24th of August is here, obviously. Arsenal played yesterday, smashed Leeds 5-0. Lots of games going on today. Have caught up with quite a few of them, to be honest. But obviously, cannot escape the fact that Saka Ødegaard injury still is boggling on all of our minds, of course. There are potentially some sales. There are actually potentially some sales going on. Vieira could move to Stuttgart, still that is on apparently. Kiwior to Porto is a very interesting one we're going to talk about today. And of course, Ebrechieze yesterday got unveiled to the public as Arsenal player before the game, official announcement online. And of course, at the Emirates, he got full announcement before the home crowd. And of course, the biggest question still remains. If Arsenal and Odegaard are injured, do they start him? Does he play? What happens? We're going to talk about all that. But just before we get into things, smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new. 16 subscribers away from 900 subscribers. Big up to you all. So smash the subscribe button. And of course, leave your thoughts down in the live chat so we can tackle them. We can discuss them. And of course, we can go from there and talk about a few things, of course. Big up, Ryan. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. What do you think about Ashburton Army? Has something happened to them? Besides that, it was a good thing while it lasted until the stupid ballot system came in and absolutely ran it into the ground and basically annihilated them. The tickets were unobtainable, so it kind of disrupted them, at least at home, and there is no unified crowd cheers in the crowd. It's basically whatever goes, so hence why it feels even more for library than it did before. I commend every away fan that goes there, because that is the best thing arguably for Arsenal fans in terms of the atmosphere, even because sometimes it feels like the atmosphere outside when we play in other teams, basically for other places, it actually feels better than when we play at home, ironically enough. Big up Beggy. Big up, Beggy. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Big up, Jackie, as well. Nice to see you here. Big up, Andrew. Hope you're doing well today. Sveiki. Missed half a day of football, but still caught up with Bums. Yeah, Emil Smith-Rowe scored a goal and had missing. That is the nuts part. I had him in FPL and he missed a penalty and I got on -1 point. Ultimately, he got 2 points for me. But if he scored a penalty, it could have been much, much better. So I'm kind of pissed off about that, but it is what it is. No hate, only love. Okay, maybe a little bit of hate. To be honest, I'm not the biggest fan, of course, of what's his face? Of the man. Bruno Fernandes as well. Not the biggest fan, given his antics, how he sometimes portrays himself on the pitch and everything. But despite all that, yeah, kind of wish he actually played for Arsenal to some extent. Literally kind of wish, because I would swap him for Odegaard, not gonna lie. I literally would swap him for Odegaard. I know it's a very unpopular opinion, but hey, it is what it is. I am the GOAT of FPL this week. 92 points. The longer left to play. Big up to you all. Big up to you, Buggy. You are the GOAT of FPL. Did you see this guy's team, by the way? This guy. I'm going to share it because this is really what's mind-boggling me. Because I talked about it in group chats as well and everything, right? 129 points, right? Somehow, this guy has managed to triple captain Jurrien Timber, a guy who was 50-50 to start the game, first of all. And second of all, he has literally gone all in on Burnley midfield, and it has worked out for him with 32 points. How do you wake up in the morning and go, yes, I'm going to triple captain a player who I don't know whether he's going to play or not, and I'm going to put full Burnley midfield? Like, how does anyone does this? How do people do these things? What happens to people's brain when they decide these questions? Like, I want to know. Seriously, I want to know. Because I obviously struggle. It's my first year FPL overall. But come on, man. Triple captain Simba. 50-50 chance he plays. Okay, cool. But to go full-blown all out on Burnley midfield, and it gets you 32 points. How do you even? Like, how does that, how do people do this thing? Like, seriously, how do people figure this stuff out and how they get so damn lucky? Big up Mabas. We're going to get into all that stuff in a second. Big up Pee-wee. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. I don't think we are getting Rodrigo. I think we'll get the left back and winger like Malik Fofana. What do you think? And to be honest, I wouldn't be shocked if we don't get anyone, to be honest, which is the nuts part. Obviously, if we sell Vieira, if we sell Kiwior, maybe if we sell someone else, I can see someone coming in. But also I get a slight feeling that we get nothing. Like, that is also a kind of thing that I'm kind of already starting to deal with and accept it. Let's just put it that way. Because at the moment, there have been no concrete links, and it's literally 7 days left in the window. So it might be last second signing, but Bruno can win you games, but he's bigger crybaby than Zinchenko. Yes, facts. And by the way, that's Ukrainian saying that Zinchenko is a crybaby, by the way. Big up Mubarak, hope you're doing well. Well, do you think Saka is injured seriously? Arsenal can force Rodrigo deal? Would be nice, wouldn't it? Literally would be nice if they force the issue there. Because we did that with Eze and got ultimately him and got ultimately Eze. We did that with Havertz and got Eze. So yeah, maybe, just maybe, Travel FC. Basically, that's what it looks like. He probably also lose 20 points a week on transfers. And that for me is the biggest thing. Obviously, he got big reward. Let's be real, 100+ points despite actually making the transfers is nuts. And I'm at this stage where I think I'm going to do a separate FPL stream, whether tomorrow or day after tomorrow, where I literally gonna disrupt my whole team. I'm most likely after a Newcastle game, right? But I'm gonna basically most likely play a wild card and just change about 5-6 players in my squad. Like I'm on in those places already. Let's just put it that. And I play all it for the first year, and I realized that it's not working for me. I got 76 with my João Pedro captain, Gyökeres mostly. Yeah, I get it. I am on what points I am on, to be honest. Let me check. At the moment in FPL, I am on 44 points. It's been a rough game week, by the way. It's been a very rough game week for me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm on 44 points, right? 44 points. Sales got me 2 points. Munoz got 5 despite the assist. Kuiper screwed me over. Bruno Fernandes, Nildo, Saliba. Palmer didn't play because he's injured. My bench, I couldn't change Dendocker last week. I basically put in. I think I put Palmer in last week, so I couldn't put him in. But yeah, Delap did nothing for me last week, and Delap did nothing this week for me. And only I have Salah and Wirtz left. So as much as I don't want Liverpool to win to some extent, right? I need a big game from Salah and Wirtz. I need a big game from them, man. Like, otherwise, my FPL this week is going to be cooked like expeditiously to no saving. Let's just put it that way. I play FPL since last 4 weeks of last season, and I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it right, I guess. Yeah, if you get proper solid points consistently, you are doing it correctly, 100%. I'm doing nothing. It's my first time playing FPL. I gathered a team that I thought will do well, and it's pretty much evident that it does that fall. Let's just put it that way. Rodrigo starts today. Interesting, Rodrigo starts. Isn't the game against Real Oviedo or something like that? So it's not that big of a deal, to be honest. They play in 22 minutes. And Real Madrid play against Real Oviedo against Santi Cazorla FC. Is Santi starting, by the way? Anyone check this Santi Cazorla on the bench, or is he starting today? Just sheer utter selfish curiosity. Sibo, Ilic, Dendocker, Vidal, Chaira, and Rondon. Oh, Salomon Rondon is still playing. Nice. And Santi Cazorla is on the bench for the team. Carvajal, Rudiger, Hausen, Carreras, Rodrigo, Tchouameni, Valverde, Mastano, Goulet, and Mbappe. Interesting starting 11 for Real Madrid as well. Very, very interesting starting 11, if you ask me. I was thinking about the injury with Saka Ødegaard. I think Arteta is doing mind games. That sounds like him. At the same time, it's a bit of an issue. Like, let's be real. We cannot just gloss over these things. Literally, my first try on FPL, and somehow I'm 349th in Ukraine and 66 on Curtis Shaw. Still have 3 players to score on. We'll see what's going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a big game. Maybe someone is going to pull one out of the bag. Let's just put it that way. I guess I have some ball knowledge after all. FPL is kind of a ball knowledge thing, but it's very circumstantial because you can literally put in Haaland in your team because he scores goals, and he can get you 2 points because he gets marked out of the game like Saliba and Gabriel do against Arsenal. Or he can basically score a hat-trick out of nowhere, and you are basically looking like a genius. It's very, very circumstantial to big extent. Let's just put it that way. Very, very big extent. Let's just say it that way. Anyways, let's talk about some transfers, people. Let's talk about some transfers. Here we go. And we're going to start things off not with a transfer, but with an injury update. Sources with knowledge of Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard's situation have said to The Athletic that the scans they have done today apparently show the injuries are not as serious as first feared, and they are now not expected to be sidelined for significant periods. I'm not gonna lie, on the face value, that sounds very great. They won't be sidelined for significant periods. Still, the question remains, what do they consider significant period? Because it could be just a strain and he's out for 3 weeks. And he's going to be out for international break, basically, and he's going to be out for Liverpool game. And that, for me, at the moment, is the biggest question. Next weekend, on Sunday, we travel to Anfield, place where we haven't won in 13 years. 13 years, yes, 13 years. And the question is, who starts? Who starts right wing if Saka is not available? Who starts number 10 if Odegaard is not available? If they both are not available, what's going to happen then? Because it's all fine and dandy that we can smash Leeds 5-0. We looked actually better without Odegaard, mind you, as well. The question is, who are we going to play? How they're going to look? And who do you envision even starting in those games? That, for me, is the biggest thing. That, for me, is still the biggest question. Obviously, it's very nice to hear that the two argue, well, on face value, two of the star players of Arsenal, right, are not as severely and as damagingly injured as feared at first, right? It sounds great that they are not going to be expected to be significantly out for a long time. At the same point, it's not the greatest thing for Arsenal because no matter how you look at it, no matter how much money we have spent, we are lacking depth in specific roles, in specific positions. And no matter how you look at it, one of them is number 10 spot. Obviously, with Eze coming in right now, that could be the answer. But again, I read today that Arsenal are exploring options to play Eze on the left and replace Odegaard with Trossard or Havertz as well. There was something weird talk happening in those levels as well. So for me, that is another big thing I don't want to happen. I don't want Trossard in the 10. Although Trossard in the 10 has been very decent. I'm not going to lie, he has been actually very, very, very decent in those terms. So we're going to see how that's going to go. But there will also be a David Raya with 12 clean sheets, but most of the work is on defenders, and that brings you at least 76 points overall. Exactly. Raya gets the clean sheets, but ultimately, obviously, our goalkeeper is protected heavily by arguably the best defense in the league. Well, not arguably, but actually best defense in the league for the last 2 seasons, consider the less amount of goals. And that shows, and you can say that, because I would say that big part of David Raya's, obviously, Golden Glove is the defense, because there are certain games where you could make very strong arguments he has to do nothing. He has to make some standard bog catch saves, maybe pick up a cross or two, and that's about it. He doesn't have to do much. He literally does not have to do much. And obviously, of course, there are other games where he basically has to play out of his skin, like he did last season, and this season he has done against United to some extent. They had about few chances. So yeah, that is basically one or the other. I'm telling you, we will score a corner against Liverpool. Hopefully, we have scored 2 in a row. Maybe let's go 3-4-3. To be honest, I really want Nico Paz. He's a super talent, but Eze on the left, I don't care. Yeah, I get it. Nico Paz is also very expensive. I think they asked about 70 million, and I don't think Arsenal going to pay that to Como. Like, big up YouTube censors. Life is good. Well, it is roughed out here at the moment. I think Martin will miss the Liverpool game. He might have cracked something. For me, it's Trossard, Eze, and Madueke. Yeah, if Saka doesn't start, I would envision Eze in the 10. I can see Madueke on the right, 100%, especially that after yesterday's game, where I looked back at the tapes, let's just put it that way, I focused more on Madueke. Compared to left wing and right wing, how Madueke looked, it was quite night and day. On the right side, Madueke looked 10 times more convincing than he looked on the left. The thing is, though, the biggest thing for me is, though, I would put a very strong argument to start Martinelli against Liverpool. I would put a very strong argument for that. Because, ironically enough, no matter how Martinelli has dropped off a cliff, still, Chelsea and Liverpool are 2 teams he performs most consistently against, in a very good way most of the time. So you could put a very strong argument that based on previous, let's just call it, merits in playing these 2 big teams, he actually has been very, very good, and there could be a very strong argument for him starting, of course. But time only will tell. It literally starting 11, and especially, well, obviously our front line that's gonna start the game, the front four, heavily depends on what we gonna hear about these two guys. What we gonna hear about these two guys. So that for me is the biggest thing. That still for me is the biggest thing, and we will have to wait and see. If you play Eze on the left, play Ranieri at the 10. Yes, 100%. Ranieri at the 10, would love to see it. As I said before, and I said it yesterday, without when Odegaard came off and Ranieri came on, we looked much more fluid, much more direct, and much more attacking, and much more dangerous. So especially in the second half. Obviously, second half was very good. So definitely there is something like that. Paz is not better than Eze yet. Yeah, well, yet, exactly, yet. Big up, Richard. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Ryan actually fully agreed that, but we need players now. Yes, we do desperately, 100%. Big up, AJ, by the way. Big up, AJ in the chat. The hardest working mod in the community, I would argue. Big up, AJ. Hope you're doing well today, my bro, and listen to him. Like the stream if you haven't already. 25 of you in here, people. 30 of you in here, people. If you have I been raided by someone or what? I don't know, because it hasn't popped up. So people, if you're here, like the stream, subscribe if you're new, and thank you for being here for however long you may stay here. 11 likes at the moment. Let's push it up to 20, people. Let's push it up to 20. But yeah, people are very, very amazing. Why? Our youth are fitted. Yeah, I can see. But we need some young players in. We have quite a few young players in the team. I would more argue we need established players than anything at the moment. We need players that are leaders in their own teams and could come and pick up the slack in our team. And I think we need more winners in our team, to be honest, because our team has not tasted victory as a unit whatsoever in terms of trophies, what I mean here. And obviously, certain players have tasted the trophies separately or with their national teams. But I strongly believe this team definitely needs players more that knows how to get it over the line, or who have played somewhat key roles in getting it over the line and winning something major. That is something I strongly believe this team kind of needs. Yeah, you're very right. We pray that Saka and Ødegaard get back to fitness before Liverpool game. Yeah, we hope so, because the more the merrier. Let's be real. The more players we have, the better it is, no matter how you look at it. It's just Nico Paz will be really good in 2-3 years and be world-class midfield. Nico Paz will be very good. The thing is, for me, though, if Como can manage to retain, Nico Paz is at Como, right? I'm not talking out of my ass here. Nico Paz is at Como, right? Yeah, he's at Como. If Como can manage to retain and keep the young players they have, keep them developing under Cesc Fabregas, because I will give very huge credit for Cesc Fabregas, how he has managed and coached his midfield attackers, right? And how he sees them to play, because as even as the manager, what's his face, Cesc has come out and said that he envisions their players taking risks, being direct, attacking, having their freedom, being allowed to express themselves. Obviously, some tactics play a role there, but quite a bit depends on the players' abilities. And he's trying to allow the players to basically showcase their abilities by contributing to the team to the best way possible. And I absolutely love that. And I think that could be very, very, and that is one of the biggest reasons why Nico Paz at the moment is so much talked about in the media, in Serie A, and even in Premier League's context of him being potentially signed. Big up, Dio. Hope you're doing well. I'm not even fussed with the Saka and Ødegaard injuries, to be honest. Well, makes one of us at least, because I'm a bit worried, I'm not gonna lie. I still back Martinelli. He's usually isolated, not his fault. True, he has become scapegoat to Arteta to some extent, yeah, but you cannot fully put it on the player. You have or Arteta. You have to put him on everyone, because obviously Martinelli's drop-off partially is due to him. His inconsistencies, obviously injuries played a role, and he has lost confidence. At the same time, you also have to put it on Arteta, because him changing the system every single year, it doesn't help the player. And especially since we have gone from a system in 22-23 season that catered Martinelli to quite high extent to a system in the last 2 years or 3 years, even now, more specifically, that hinders Martinelli's performance and kind of halts it with like putting handcuffs on. It's definitely on the manager, because for me, manager should be able to elevate players' strengths and develop them, and hide his weaknesses. At the same time, by elevating other players' strengths, he hides the previous players' weaknesses. And unfortunately, our manager is not doing that. I wouldn't say I'm hardworking because I love modding, so it's not work for me. And that is amazing, to be honest. AJ, salute to you, because that is amazing. Because some people just get it for the status. Some people get it just because to boost their egos. But some people actually put in the work, and some do it actually with open heart and very willingly. And you're one of them. Big up to you, AJ. He won't be world-class way too far. It depends for the length of the injuries. If it's half a year, I'm worried. Yeah, that is true. My question is why? Because how more injuries can Saka get away with? I think luckily this might not be a big one, as reports are suggesting, because if this injury is a big one, it could get Peakham's very quickly. I just put it that way. Wait, I just realized Nico Paz probably going to Madrid. They have 10 to 14 million buyback clause. Yeah, there's a big possibility Real Madrid do that. They did that also, I think, with Brahim Diaz at AC Milan. They do it. Most of the youngsters Real Madrid sign, and they know they cannot get into the first team. They loan them out or they sell them. But they always put in buyback clauses, which means the other team that gets the player actually can buy him for lesser amount, because they have the buyback clauses, which means they actually will get more money than if they would have paid it in front. So in those terms, yeah, Real Madrid are very shrewd in those terms, and they're playing it to the perfection. Real Madrid are masters of that, to say the least. I think Martinelli would be perfect backup at 9. 100%. As we pray for Havertz to get quick recovery too, big up to Max Daumann. The young lads, a bright future ahead of him, 100%. Max Daumann was phenomenal yesterday. Yes, he didn't score, but you already can see that it might be a bit of the naivety of a youngster, of a teenager, 100%, but he's very direct, very quick. For 15 years old, he's very strong. He blasts by the defenders. His technical first touch and movement with the ball is sublime, to say the least, for a 15-year-old. Yes, he needs to polish his shooting and his finishing. There's no argument about that. He needs to get a bit more mature. At the same time, he already had defenders on toast. So I would argue that if he gets the proper manager to coach him, if he gets the proper coaching and management, he actually could play a very big role in Arsenal's team. I would even go as far to some extent and say that he already is somewhat better than certain players we have in our team. And it would be a travesty if he didn't get more playtime this season. It literally would be a travesty. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, it's a one-game hype from one point of view. At the same time, oh boy, he looked phenomenal. Daumann can't feel for Saka or Madueke, and Ranieri can't really fit in for Odegaard and Eze. Yeah, to some extent, yeah, I get that point. Daumann by default is a 10, by the way. Ranieri as well by default is a 10, technically speaking. But they play on the right for under 21, under 20 internationals and all these teams. Mikel Arteta envisions them a bit more like wingers as well at times. So it kind of coincides with everything. I'm not fussed because we'll be better without Odegaard. That I can agree with, because when Odegaard came off, we looked much better yesterday. And Saka can be covered by Madueke or Ranieri or Daumann. Saka injury isn't going to be why we don't win the league. That is, like, I get your point, because there you could also make a very strong argument that even with Saka in the team, we would not win the league. We could not win the league. That is also a big point, and I totally understand it, 100%. He could be on a play there before, yeah. Hey, Eze, we're really happy to welcome to the club. Yeah, Eze as well. Eze, at the moment, he was unveiled yesterday as an Arsenal player in front of a home crowd. What a beautiful thing to watch and everything. It's fantastic. It has come a full circle. Eberechi Eze is back home. Let's just put it that way. The question is, where do you start Eberechi Eze, if you start him, by the way, on Sunday next week at Anfield? Left wing, number 10, depending on situation. Where would you want to see as a start, if you even want to see him start? I'll put that to you. I'm a bit behind in comments, so I will get to you in a second in your answers. My question is, how many money do you Saka get away with? Because I am say 4 more. And depends also on severity of those 4, AJ, by the way. It depends on the severity of those injuries. Because it could be a big one and that's it. It could be a minor one, so he can get away with them a bit. Exactly, Latvian Gunnar. The inverted left-back system hasn't helped Martinelli. Exactly, that is also the case, because Martinelli in 22-23 season was also quite consistently overlapped by Granit Xhaka. He was helped as well. So that also played a very big role. When we play Liverpool, Calafiori has to turn to run from the left back to the cam in a very short time because he can't get Salah freedom like the United game. And that is the big question. We could be left very exposed in those terms. We could be very exposed because we all know how much Calafiori loves to go forward. And if we give Salah some freedom, we could get done over. Obviously, it helps when you have Gabriel and Saliba at the back. At the same time, it could get very pickums. Because the last time an Arsenal defender has locked up Mohamed Salah, like fully, it was Tomiyasu at the Emirates. Remember when Mikel Arteta randomly, for many Arsenal fans, decided to play him on the left? Like 2-3 seasons ago. I think it was 3. Basically, when Mohamed Salah every time tried to cut in, he was cutting in on Tomiyasu's strong foot. So he always managed to get in a tackle before anything developed. They tried to long diagonals, and since Tomiyasu was 6'1", 6'2", he always read them like a book, and he was completely shut out of the game. So that is also a big question that needs to be answered, because I don't think Skelly or Calafiori can lock down Mohamed Salah. Which means I think Declan Rice may need to play a bit deeper role and help the left back out no matter how you look at it. And we kind of tried it as well, by the way, against Leeds. When Calafiori was pushing forward into 10 and everything, many times coming back, Declan Rice filled in the left back spot. Maybe that is something Mikel Arteta envisions of Arsenal doing against Liverpool. We will have to wait and see, of course. I don't think these injuries matter for Saka, to be honest. He's lost some acceleration, but he'll get back. He can be bare without relying on his acceleration of the mark. Yeah, that is also the case. Like, pace isn't everything. This is what Thierry Henry said. Thierry Henry always had the pace. But there was one training where coach came up to him and said, I want you to play, but not use your pace. And Thierry Henry then said, well, how can I do anything if I don't use my pace? Well, try and do it. Try technical, try skills, try passing, some movements, but don't solely rely on pace. And that made him a much, much better player. Pace should not be the main thing you rely on. Obviously, it's a very nice help when you have it, but it shouldn't be the main thing that you get judged by, and that is something some people rely upon. For example, Dan James at Leeds now, ex-Man United and Swansea, right? That is the prime example. Dan James, right? Dan James, right? He has pace, but besides that, he's quite average, to say the least. And he relied on pace quite heavily, and it worked for him. But once he got to the top level, the deficiencies of having pace but not having maybe the abilities after that shows quite heavily. If Odegaard was real captain, he would realize he's making the club worse, and he should realize that the way he helped this team is to leave. That's a bit harsh. But I still believe that Havertz is not the captain material. I'll just put it that way. As they're living a movie, 100%. He is living the dream scenario. Cut from the academy, then travels the world pretty much in terms of players, and then comes back. They're living the dream. And he also, I really strongly believe he also is going to play with some chip on his shoulders as well, because he will have every incentive imaginable to prove Arsenal wrong for cutting him from the academy. So there could be extra incentives of him getting actually better performances. Our players did us wonders yesterday. Big up to Timber and Gyökeres for the brace each of them got for us. Yeah, 100%. Timber got 2 goals and assists. Calafiori got 2 assists. And Gyökeres got 2 goals, and Saka scored a sublime weak foot finish as well. Fantastic. I think, and it's naive thinking, oh, here we go, strap in, boys. We need to try to get Rodrigo for a must-buy clause of 75 million loan and get rid of Martinelli. In any way, I don't think Berta will allow another Sterling loan. Oh, 100%. Berta is not going to sign Raheem Sterling or something level of those players 100%. Obviously, the copium and everything I have going here, I would love to have Rodrigo at Arsenal, 100% without shadow of a doubt, right? Will it happen? I don't think so. I literally give it a 0.5% chance that Arsenal sign Rodrigo, right? Rest of the 99.5% is sheer pure hopium, copium, and all this stuff. However, if it happens, this window is 8 out of 10 for me. I'm telling you right now. For me, at the moment, it's like 5.56 for me. If we get Rodrigo, despite sales, it goes up for 8 for me. Because Rodrigo, I strongly believe, for that left wing spot, getting a proper left winger is quite heavy the key. If we get, let's say, 15 out of 18 points of the first 6 games, I think we have a good chance of winning the league. It will be a very good start to campaign for winning the league, because obviously in the first 6 games, you cannot win the league. You can easily lose the league, though, in the first 6 games. For me personally, I've been always adamant in saying this, that for the first 6-7 games Arsenal have, we need to come out, let's just say first 6 games, with about 15-16 points to even throw our hat in the challenge box. I'm just going to put it that way. Then again, looking at how Man City are playing, what's happening at Chelsea and everything, Spurs, and it could get really ropey at some point, because Liverpool also looks like they can be got at. We saw it. Bournemouth did it. They didn't look too great. Let's see how they look tomorrow. But at the moment, yeah, I think we need at least 15, 16 points out of the first 6 games. In an ideal scenario, we go to Anfield and get a win. Worst case scenario, it's a draw. Then definitely we can start to talk about this. We can start to think about this, because they still have to come to our place. Then again, we still need to beat Man City. We still need to beat Forest. We still need to beat Newcastle away, which we all know that Newcastle away at St. James Park is the 6th game, by the way. It's always been the biggest challenge we can kind of endure during the season as Arsenal fans and as Arsenal in general. So that for me is always going to have a red exclamation mark before the game, 100%. As they to start left wing, Madueke right wing, Banjeri right center mid. I assume you mean 10, because right center mid, that is definitely not happening. 16 likes, people. Big up to you all. 27 in the chat at the moment watching. Big up to you all. Hope you're feeling great. If we can push the likes up to 20, I would be forever most grateful, people. And don't forget to subscribe as well. 16 away before the stream began from 900 subscribers, people. Big up to you all. Salah will cook our left side. Doesn't matter who it will be. Gabi must be pretty much locked in, 100%. And I think that there could be some Declan Rice help in those. A bit harsh. Saudi, Qatar, been running our game. Mm-hmm. Big up favorite Andrew. Big up Andrew. We really need to shut up Liverpool, but Calafiori needs to shine in the demon and that winger. Yeah, that is the biggest thing. For how much in the last 2 games, even against United, Calafiori pushed up. It was worrying, because against Salah, it's not gonna be good. It's definitely gonna get ugly, and ugly real quick. So hence why I think Arsenal will try and deploy the same system they tried against Leeds, where if Calafiori pushes in the 10, Declan Rice kind of holds back and maybe drops in the left-back spot as Calafiori comes back. Maybe that is going to help to play against the Salah, because Salah again is going to try and cut in. Declan Rice is right-footed. Maybe then he can tackle with his strong foot on the inside, which definitely would help in that regard. Let's be real. At the same time, we know Salah, and he is hella too tricky to do this. So we'll see how Arsenal kind of do those things. Big up, Jackie. Eze 10, Martinelli left, Madueke right. We need Eze's experience in the 10, and Martinelli can assist to Mo Salah. Yeah, that... I think Martinelli definitely, one of the biggest reasons why he could start is the defensive work he puts in against Salah. That might be a massive requirement, heavily massive requirement. And he usually also offensively does well against Liverpool. So that could be a win-win situation happening, waiting. On the other side, Gakpo on Cook Timber. Yeah, hopefully. But he will well done White if he plays. Yeah, but Ben White wasn't ready for yesterday, so there is hope. Plus, after the game Timber had yesterday, I don't think there is anyone who would even imagine Jurriën Timber being dropped for Liverpool game next weekend. I don't see anyone. So he most likely will be playing. 30 people watching, only 16 likes. Yeah, I know. People like the stream. Arsenal need to budge on injuries. Now the injuries are knocking on promote camp. Yeah, we should, but we saw how that went last year, and that also last year wasn't a pretty look. I think if Arteta has something called mind, he puts Saka on the bench even if he can't play. Well, we know how this goes, people. If Saka can walk, he can crawl. Even if he can hop on one leg, he's going to play on painkillers. Especially that after this Liverpool game, there is international break. So he will get almost 2 weeks off. Let's be real. So I can see him maybe playing even through pain. I can see that. Unfortunately, I can see that. Because I said this also last year when he got injured. He was projected to be out for about 5 months or something. I said, don't play him against Real Madrid. give him proper rest, give him proper recovery, add him in the preseason, and go again next season. And we also, he came back, he played against Real Madrid, 1-2 free kicks, Declan Rice scored them both. Okay, we whoopity-do, but led us ultimately at the end of it to nothing. And Saka played, he didn't do much. At the same time, we put him on more strain, on more issues and everything. And now we are looking at the continuation of the Saka's recovery, where it has again resulted in another injury, unfortunately. Big up TK. Hope you're doing well today, my brother. Big up. Here is TK link. Go subscribe to him. Show him some love. He's on the road to 200 subscribers. People, go show him some love. Big up Ash. No one is signing Rodrigo. He started today. Well, yeah, he is starting today. He started about 5 minutes ago. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I get it. Maybe we will. To be honest, Rodrigo has played about 96 minutes in the last 9 or 9 games, or in the last 9 games, he has played about 96 minutes in the last 9 games. Since Xabi Alonso has signed, so he's starting this game. So it's not a big tell, but maybe there could be something to it. But he's also playing against Real Oviedo. It's not like he's playing El Clasico or something like that. If we get Rodrigo, I agree, it's an 8. With sells and renewing, could get to 9. Exactly, 100%. For me, that left wing is very essential at this stage already. I think we're winning the league, by the way. Everything has lined up perfectly. Big up, Dio. I love the optimism. Not gonna lie. Props to you. I really love your optimism. Personally, I don't see it at the moment, but maybe, just maybe. We can afford Mitoma. We should just do it. Funny how I'm more worried about St. James Park than Anfield. Yeah, same. I'm not gonna lie, I'm more worried about St. James Park because in the last 3 years we have scored 1 goal there, and we have had about 2-3 shots on target, something like that. If not, and we haven't done much there. I'm not gonna lie, we haven't done much. So that for me somehow is a bigger worry than Anfield, because we're gonna get chances against Liverpool, against Newcastle. We have seen, but obviously tomorrow we will see how can we get at Liverpool or can we get at Newcastle? Because in preseason we got 1 over Newcastle, but that's preseason. Let's be real. How it's going to happen in season, that's a completely different story. What team would you support if Arsenal did not exist? I wouldn't be a Premier League supporter. I'm going to tell you that much. I grew up watching La Liga quite extensively. Seriously, I grew up watching La Liga quite extensively. I would most likely be Real Madrid fan, but even then, I most like it would be either Real Madrid in La Liga or Roma or AS Roma. Not AS Roma. Sorry, I'm talking about my ass. AC Milan in Serie A. One or the two teams. It would not be Arsenal, 100%. If Arsenal didn't exist, it would be Real Madrid or AC Milan. So, yeah, that's that. It's a very weird situation because I grew up not watching Premier League. I grew up, I became Arsenal fan and then we started watching Premier League, ironically enough. It kind of happened. It kind of happened the other way around than it should have been. Most likely, like if we are looking at it that way, because yeah, people kind of don't know my story regarding how I became an Arsenal fan, which is a very different story compared, I would say, about 95 to 99% of Arsenal fans, how they became Arsenal fans. It was a completely different story. So yeah, it's maybe I could do a stream on that, but I don't know if anyone even wants to listen to it. I spoke on it a bit. On views channel, Views on Sport, when I basically we were doing Under the Lens. I spoke on it a bit then, but overall, yeah, it's a bit different story. Hey, yo, wait, there's the favorite Andrew, so now I need to use my Are you actually Andrew or are you Andre? Like, seriously, are you or Andri? I think Ukraine has that YE combination. You're like Andri. We are still playing 4-3, so right center mid is where Odegaard plays. Mendy is a DM, right? Well, we kind of play double pivot between that, so I kind of get it. I get it. I get what you mean by that. I definitely get what you meant by that. Like if I think of grand scheme of things, let's just put it that way. Definitely, I got you. Let's just put it that way. I got you. So yeah. Wait, let me check. I need to answer a message quickly. I need to answer a message really quickly. Real Madrid still haven't scored 10 minutes in. What else is new and all this stuff? But yeah. Let's go to this screen. My camera also needs work. Like, I'm very sorry, people. I'm a bit preoccupied here. I need to do some things that doesn't concern the stream, some family business going on. So I'm very sorry about that. But I'm back. I think Liverpool's defense looked not so good. So yeah, exactly. Liverpool's defense looked a bit shaky. They lost 50% of their defense. So definitely there could be some very strong arguments to be made that Arsenal actually could get at them. They could do some job there, 100%. We'll see how that goes, obviously. But yeah, there definitely will need some time. We need some patience, and we'll see. Obviously, tomorrow will be a big showing how everything just gonna happen. I think after the Bournemouth game, the Newcastle situation definitely could show something that Arsenal could exploit in their advantage. Just looking overall, bro, Liverpool and City both have as defensive. They can the defensive issues for Liverpool. I get because their new defense 50%. City, well, they're just in a mess at the moment. They need about 3 signings, and 2 of them need to be defenders, and they need to be like a right back. It needs to be technically a center back and also left back. They need 3 defensive signings, I would argue, because Ruben Dias also since since Kyle Walker left, he has been quite heavily exposed for being a little bit of a fraud. Let's just put it that way, a little bit of a fraud. But yeah. That if we are looking at on those freaking hell, sorry, misclick in those terms. Let's just put it that way. Let's just say it like that. Give me a second, and here we are. We're back. Thoughts on the Irish kid we got today? No idea. I know that he's from Shamrock Rovers. He's apparently big talent. Besides that, no idea. Ryan, on thoughts, he won't be there for 20 seconds. I have said it all over last season that Timber is so much better with White, Calafiori, Skelly, and every right. Yeah, Timber is like blessing in disguise. He has been phenomenal for us. I'm not gonna lie. Big up, Nally. Hope you're doing well. How is Belgium today? Good Sunday. I read the injured, not too bad. Yeah, hopefully. If we can win, I see it 2-0. 2-0 or 2-1. It might be like we are 2-0 up. We kind of park the bus as time kind of dwindles out in the last minutes, and maybe in the last seconds they might push one in, but for the second they might not be enough time. I'm going to say this now: if René Slegers had the men's job, we win the league this season, dude. That's I don't know, but I can see the argument, but not too sure. I think if Arsenal didn't exist, I would go to Palace. Easy for me. Not a bad team to support. Obviously, trophies are not that many, but at least you could support Eddie Nketiah and all them. And so, but yeah, for me, if I was an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't even be a Premier League fan. I would be watching La Liga, Serie A more than Premier League. I'm not gonna lie, and most likely I would actually be a AC Milan fan. 19 likes, people. Can we push it to 20, 25 people? Big up. Big up, BBK. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. How's the recovery going, by the way? I always forget to ask you in the chat, so how's your recovery going? Big up, people. Smash the likes and subscribe. Here's BBK's channel, Arsenal fan. Dropped some fire content, also has panel shows and everything, so go show him some love, people. The way I became an Arsenal fan was FIFA. I had to pick a team to play, and Arsenal was pretty good to play with, the way Americans discovered the game. What's a kilometer? It's Andri. Exactly. That's what I said. I knew it. See? Education. But since there were 3 Andris in my chat, my teacher deliberately named me Andrew, and it's more common and in universal. Yeah, exactly. I get it. I absolutely get it. Fully get it. Deluded take. Oh, here we go, people. We can get result at Anfield. Well, there's no argument we can. I just want to win, not just a draw. But it won't be a win, and it's still and it will be frustrating. That's the thing. We can get a draw at Anfield. It is possible. For me, I want the win. It's been 13 years since we have won at Anfield. I want to taste the victory at Anfield once again, people. Like, mwah. The Newcastle game now, that this gives me bully vibes. So yes, people. That game, as you said before, and I'm in the same boat partially. Somehow, game at St. James Park scares me more than the game at Anfield. Seriously. But yeah, people. Ben Jacobs has spoken a bit on what's its face. Jakub Kiwior, the Polish twerker. Is Kiwi ripe? The Bunda of Zamunda, let's just put it that way. Polska Bunda. Understand Porto are very optimistic on signing Arsenal defender Jakub Kiwior on a loan with an obligation to buy. Interesting. Nothing is finalized yet. But Porto hoping for an agreement by early next week, which is quite nice. If we can Monday, Tuesday Kiwior goals for, let's just say 25, 30 million, why not? Kiwior prefers a move outside the Premier League if he's to leave. I wonder why. Literally, I wonder why. And after all, big up. Everything's okay in Belgium. I love to hear it. Big up BBK once again. My dad's a Palace fan. My uncle is an Arsenal fan, so I had to choose. Well, you regret your decisions or you don't? Let me know. Do you regret becoming an Arsenal fan or you don't? Dream for me is to win the league at City Stadium. We would have won the league at every top 6 team in the Premier League. When do we play City? When do we play at the Etihad? April 18th, right? We play at the Etihad April 18th. April 18th, right? April 18th. Let me check this. We play at the Etihad on April 18th, right? April 18th. If I can scroll that far down. April 18th, we play at the Etihad, right? I want to know. I really want to know. That's game week where we are. February, March, here we go, April. We play at the Etihad on April 18th, right? That is game week 33. So you want to win the league at Etihad, which means by the end of that game week, we need to be at least 12 points ahead of the second place, so we have guaranteed league. You think that by game week 13, we will be 12 points ahead once the game against Man City finishes. We will be 12 points ahead of someone that is pretty much a guarantee that we are winning the league. That's a very optimistic thinking for this season, I'm not going to lie. 21 likes, big up people. 37 of you here. Big up to you all, people. You are smashing it today. Like and subscribe if you haven't already as well. I'm so calm right now. To be honest, I'm as well. We won yesterday. I'm chill. Yeah, people. Like the stream. Subscribe if you're new people. Show some love. Nothing specific. No price tags. No, thank you. Window open 31st. Window. I mean, you closes, right? Premier League window shuts closed at Monday, September 1st, 7 p.m. UK time. Monday, September 1st, 7 p.m. So basically 12, 16, 17. Basically in a week and somewhat hours. Big up Hendon Gunner. Big up Hendon Gunner. Hope you're feeling well today, my bro. Well, I can go back now, but his club can make me ask my. I get it. Seriously, supporting Arsenal should be a full-time paid job based on the things we go through sometimes as fans. The sheer stress alone should be like, I don't know, 300 like pounds a week at least. Especially during transfers, then should be like a 50% added bonus where we get 450 pounds a week or something like that on top. Now, I think Berta is trying super hard to sell some of these players for prices that are far from off. To be honest, I think Berta can do it. That's the nuts part. If Edu was doing it, I would have no trust whatsoever. But I strongly believe that Berta actually could do it. That is the nuts part. Take some L's. The future may bring some bare business terms. Yeah, hopefully. Kiwior needs to go. Big up most wanted. Yeah, I wouldn't be against that. Then again, our center backs' defensive options are a bit dwindled at the moment. How many years would you give Arteta if he won the Champions League or the Premier League or FA or League Cup? So if he wins Carabao Cup this season, sack him. If he wins FA Cup, sack him. If he wins Carabao Cup and FA Cup, I would still argue to sack him. If he wins Premier League, give him one more season. If he wins Champions League, give him one more season. If he doesn't win anything, then sack him. Most likely it would go like that. Berta has his work cut out. Yeah, definitely. He has the job on his hands like no tomorrow. Fact, that's why I'm complaining about, but it will be a deadline day. It will be very, very soon a deadline day, 100%. All good. It's like it's 10 p.m. in Belgium. How are you not awake fully? Like, it's only 10 p.m. Like, what? It's only 10 p.m. in Belgium. What are we doing here? Nally, come on. Big up Bekele. How long is the recovery for both Odegaard and Saka? Apparently it's not going to be long. Apparently. It might be a few weeks, but it's not as bad as they envisioned firstly. Some extra scans apparently are going to be done tomorrow, allegedly. And we might get some rough estimates or full estimates, actually, tomorrow or day after tomorrow, most likely. Is Man U a threat? To who? Sunderland? Arsenal? City? Crystal Palace? West Ham? Sadly, they won't take the pay cuts to go to the other clubs. They'd be happy to sit on Sun. That's the nuts part. Big up Samuel. It's been a while. I got excited when Arsenal signed a player, but Eze signing makes me so much excited. Wish him all the best and hoping Mikel can give him big chances. Same. If there was anything to it, I strongly believe Eze should be a starter for our team. He should be a starter for our team. Let's just put it that way. Where? That is just question marks. Question marks over question marks. All-time Arsenal 11. I cannot do all-time. I wasn't born in 1886, so I don't know the players until I don't even know until which year, like 95, I would argue. 95, 94. I don't know the players. I can watch some tapes. I can go based on that. I haven't watched them play live, or at least on TVs and stuff like that. I can make full judgments more since 2000s. I cannot do all the time. I can mostly make an Arsenal 11 of what I have seen, at least play on TV. I have seen games on some vintage records or vintage channels that post games from old days. Let's just put it that way, from 90s, 80s, and stuff like that. And some clips I have seen somewhere, because I haven't seen most of the great Arsenal players play, to be honest, some of the great ones. Like that's the sad part. 21. Well, to Arsenal, I don't think so. To Fulham, we saw today. Sunderland, we'll see. City, will be interesting to see. I think their next game is against City, isn't it? So that will be interesting to see. But yeah, United are a threat for top 7. I don't think they're going to go hard than that. But to be honest, based on today's issues, how they played, it feels like they make 2 steps forward, 3 steps back at times. After Eze, I honestly believe we won't sign anyone else. To be honest, I'm kind of in the same boat. Partially, not fully. I have one leg in that boat as well. Anyone else, player sales is the last days are most important now for club, but we can't continue wishing and hoping as fans. Well, we can only hope at the end of the day. We can want something. Will we get it? I don't think so. We can only wish, pray, and hope. Let's just put it that way. Recovering from a chesty cough. I hope you feel better soon. Speedy recovery. Now let's see how it really go. If we win the Carabao Cup, he will get 3 more years. If he wins an FA Cup, 4 more years. If he wins Prem or UCL, the top Gunners will demand a statue outside Emirates. Let's be real. And he's going to get a lifetime contract, and we're going to be screwed for the rest of our lives. But that's a bit different. Obviously. But yeah, I think if he wins a cup, he might get another year. Maybe. But if he wins Premier League, Champions League, he will get a longer extension. Although his contract runs out in year and a half. So if we have to sign him again, it will be 20-something million. And that again seems quite ludicrous, to be honest. I say open, most closed are window. I see what you did there. No, I mean in Premier League era. I also haven't seen everyone in Premier League era, ironically enough. I have not seen. Sadly, I have not seen everyone in the Wenger era as well. Arsene Wenger signed in 1996, right? I have seen some players from 95. Premier League was established in 92, if I'm not mistaken, right? It was in 1992, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 1 year before I was born. So I haven't seen about 3-4 years of Premier League era whatsoever. So I kind of also very hard. I can basically make a starting 11 of the players I have seen. Let's just put it that way. Full on from Premier League era. I can do it. I can do some extended, a bit of an extra research. I'll just put it that way. Watch some tapes, watch some archives. I'll just put it that way with some older games from like early 90s and stuff like that. I can do it and then make my decisions. Obviously, from like 2002, let's just say 2004, 5 onwards, I can make it. But the 10 years before, basically, right, I kind of have to watch some tapes because I have not seen those players, unfortunately, play. Saka tweaked his hamstring this time last season too, also before that international break, a precursor of his more serious grade 3 tier. Maybe. Or maybe just Saka doesn't want to go on international duty. Okay, just random talk. Just genuinely just banter. Don't take me seriously over that. Don't you dare put Lehmann in all-time 11. I blame him. Nah, I would put Seaman. For me, it's Seaman in all-time 11. For me, it's David Seaman. Not all time, but from what I have seen. Let's just put it that way. To be honest, we really have to be careful with Spurs this season. They're very technical and physical. No panic. I believe we are going to trash them as usual, but we really have to be careful. Speaking on Spurs, though, that is a very different topic because Spurs have this weird situation where they start off season strong. They had it 2 years ago as well. Remember, they were top of the table in October. They were running around with their pants in the air and screaming, "We're going to win the league," and we all saw what happened afterwards, right? With Spurs, obviously, it's something similar with as almost every team. If they start to suffer injuries like they did last season, the amounts and the seriousness, they can be done. I think, obviously, under Thomas Frank, they look much more composed, much more organized. There's a proper system, proper style. They are very patient and resilient. They have no issues sitting back and just pouncing on situations to take advantage, right? At the same time, I think the Spurs will drop off as well. I think the quality they have is decent, but they also don't have the personnel, let's just say, to extend it over to also in Champions League, because Spurs also have Champions League. I think they will drop off at some point. Then saying that, the North London derbies again actually might be very interesting because under Ange it was under Jose, but under Pochettino, but it looks like if Spurs actually do it properly, the North London derbies could actually be very, very, very interesting right now. Very interesting. Like 2000 and onwards. We can do it a stream on that someday. We can do it maybe tomorrow, day after tomorrow. We definitely can do it on 100%. We can make a separate stream on that if you wish to. Let me know, by the way, in the comments. I will put out community post as well regarding that. Let me know what you think. Would you want to see that as well, people? I won't lie. If he wins the Champions League for Arsenal as much as I want him gone, I don't believe he is the right manager for us. I can't argue over the statue because it's what I want. Yeah, to be honest, same. I don't want a statue for him, personally. At the same time, he's going to do something no one ever has done at Arsenal, first things first. He will be immortalized into Arsenal no matter how you want, whether you like it or not. It's going to be a fantastic moment for Arsenal, for North London, for every fan in the world, obviously. He will get the extension. We will see what is what. But yeah, 100%. Also, I apologize. don't know the real name. Some people address you as Robert. I'm just yes, basically how this goes. I go by Robo because my previous channel, the same channel, it was called Mr. Robo 19 TV, right? In school as well, I got called Robo by people because saying my full name, it seemed too long for some people. Let's just put it that way, right? Also, my teammates in football, basketball, floorball, volleyball, wherever I played, called me Robo because it's much easier, much quicker, especially on the pitch in the heat of the moment, right? And it kind of stuck with me, right? My full name is Roberts with an S in the end because that is something unique to my country. Men's names usually end with the letter S. Women's names usually end with the letter A or letter E, right? But I basically take the S off, right? Just so for people across the world, the S in the end seems very dumb. Like in terms of they are not used to it. We have a very different language. We have one of the hardest languages to learn in the world in Latvia. Seriously. No, it's not a joke. It's actually serious. And hence why I am Robert, right? In the world, in everywhere in Latvia, I'm Roberts. But on socials, I'm Robo. I go by Robo because for other people, it's also easier. At the same time, yeah, this is what it is. There's a channel that just show UCL matches over the years, and from that, I know most of the things from 10 plus years. Exactly. There are websites, there are YouTube channels and different other channels that show archive games, like from 1990s, 80s, early 2000s, up until basically you started to watch football. You can watch every single game and stuff like that. It's brilliant. Hit the likes, people. More Arsenal. Big up more Arsenal. Hit the likes, people, if you haven't already. And subscribe while you're at it. Spurs had beat City more times in recent seasons. It's a bogey team for City. Let's not sleep on City. True. At the same time, we cannot sleep on Spurs as well. It goes both ways, unfortunately. Road to 1K. Hopefully, we are close to 900. If we can reach it very soon, I will be forever most grateful, and the grind to 1K is gonna begin. 20 years, not then. Channel just saw. Yeah. To your point, Spurs have more balanced manager. Yes, that is 100%. They will still suffer since they don't have table runners, but they will be much better than 15. Yeah, based on the first two games, also based on what we saw in the first game of the season, in the Super Cup and everything, I can see Spurs finishing in top 6. So Latvian, who do you think will give us tough time this season? Newcastle? I would expect that because at St. James Park we struggle. No matter how you look at it, we struggle. I think game at Anfield is going to be tough. At Etihad is also going to be hell, I think, because Arsenal never go to Etihad and just take the game to City. Somehow Arsenal always park the bus because Mikel Arteta wants so and just waits for its moments. We don't seize the situation, right? I think there will be some games away, especially, where we're going to struggle. Either it's going to be something like Sunderland, whether it's going to be something like Burnley, whether it's going to be something like Fulham, I don't know, but there will be some of those games. Maybe even Everton it might be. Who knows? But definitely I can see some of those games going that way. At home, home should be your fortress, but last season it was a bit different, wasn't it? Unfortunately, Max, wait till he's... Yeah, Max cannot play this season in Champions League. He can play next season, not this season anymore. Belgium, we say Robert. Yes. You say with 1B. I think Netherlands also says it with 1B, or also they have 2 Bs with Rob in the middle. To be honest, whole world, it's Robert, right? Only for as far as I know, for my country, you add S in the end. I know that, for example, in England or US, you also call Robert Bob. I know also that much. Arteta will go to Sevilla in 2 years and maybe Spain job in 5 if he does decent in Spain and manager if he's not too. We'll see. We have to see how he finishes at Arsenal because it all blows up in his face. Pause. It might not be even Sevilla. If he wins Champions League or Premier League in one season, give him Yeah. If he wins both in the same season, give him the statue. I won't care. Seriously. If he does the double of the biggest majors imaginable to some extent, give him it. Just give it to him. Seriously, don't mind. I'm not saying Spurs are bad, but I think we'll be up there. But I don't think they will climb off Arsenal or Liverpool for matter. Yeah, I'm generally. When I say this, I strongly believe that Spurs are going to be in top 6 race. They might even sneak in top 4 if they get lucky, especially with injuries. But ultimately, they will not challenge for the league. At least I don't expect that. At least in my view, Bournemouth will give us hard time. Yes, yeah, they will. Yes, they have lost literally they have lost 3/4 of their defense. But I think Bournemouth might be one of those bogey situations somehow. But we'll have to wait and see. To be honest, literally, we'll have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see. Now, let me check something. Since Juventus are playing, what's its face? Juventus are playing Parma in Turin. There's a Latvian playing in this game, potentially. He's on the bench. He is on the bench, unfortunately. Oh, well. He's on the bench for Parma. He's on the bench for Parma, unfortunately. What a shame. In my country, Roberts is the first name, and Roberts is the person's last name. See? Yeah, that's the case. That's the case for me in my country, right? It's basically it could be also the last name, although literally have never ever seen a person with the last name of my name. But in my country, for the men's names specifically, you put letter S in the end, right? So you don't name Kyle, right? In my country, it's Kyle's, right? If you have Tom, for us, it's Tom's. It's always S in the end, unfortunately. So it makes a bit different. Hence why when I speak, when I put my name somewhere on socials, if you can find it, because I don't have it anywhere, it's usually just a Robo, right? I always remove the S for people, just for it's easier to them, and it's always I understand what they talk about anyways. Spurs don't have anything that proved to be elite and long lasting. Near did Arsenal, to be fair. Like that doesn't sound too good, does it? Big up Cooper. Hope you're going well. Big up Cooper. Hope everything's well today with you. Hope you're feeling very, very great. Yeah, people, smash the likes and subscribe if you haven't already. Bournemouth will give us problems attack-wise, but I think they have regressed defensively. It's not just Zabarny and Hausen. Well, to be honest, they have lost Kerkez, they have lost Zabarny, they have lost Hausen. The goalkeeper, Petrovic, or whoever they signed from, from Chelsea for 20-odd million, also doesn't look much better than Kepa looked last season for them. So they definitely have lost something, 100%. Obviously, Kluivert's injury is not doing them any favors at the moment, but they're trying to pick up the slack. Semenyo is trying his best. But we'll see. Did you ever go to America and where? No, I have never been to USA. I need to get visa done and all this crap. First things first, don't have the money to do so. Second of all, I could not be asked to get all the visas, licenses, and everything to go there. I cannot be asked personally. I would love to go there. I'm not gonna lie, but nah. Much rather travel through Europe. Here, Jay is why I don't know why. Big up, Andrew. Big up, everyone. But yeah, people, it's actually kind of nuts. Anything else regarding Arsenal happening today? Because I think there is something is happening surrounding Arsenal. I saw it somewhere, literally. Anyone want to see something that might make them a bit angry, a bit more annoyed? Real Madrid have scored. Mbappe has scored from Arda Güler's assist. Here, people, look at this. Captain Fantastic and all this stuff. Captain Marvel of Arsenal. After victory over Leeds United, Odegaard now has more wins as an Arsenal captain than Patrick Vieira. Yee! Mitoma is the first FPL kick. Pick? Maybe. Like, we might do... Anyone open, by the way, people, while you're here, anyone open with doing an FPL stream tomorrow with me? I want to rebuild my squad. First things first. And most likely I'm going to use the wild card because I'm going to change about 5-6 players maybe, if not more even. Anyone down for that? Just discuss this, talk about this, signings, changes, sales, and all this stuff. Anyone down for it, people? Is anyone down for that? Just asking while I'm still live. As a video would speak, yeah. The only thing that could have made it better was if it was Sol Campbell announcing Eberechi Eze. That was the only thing that could have made it better, besides everything. Otherwise, great. I would watch an FPL stream, yeah. Of course, you're balling in FPL. I'm crying my eyes out in FPL. Like, obviously, that's a big difference. Gabriel Jesus is back. Well, in the training, I assume. It's not like he's going to play very soon. If you're interested in the opinion of a person who does for the first time, yes, I'm doing it as well for the first time in my life. So we are in the same boat. Don't worry. Seriously, don't worry. I'm doing this also for the first time in my life. So I'm not too fussed in that regard because I still don't know how to change. I only figured out yesterday how do you change the formation FPL. Basically, if you put in a player, it automatically changes for you. That's what I figured out. You also have to make some changes. Nice. I want to make some of this. Since I need to make quite a few, I actually might be using my wildcard tomorrow. So that could be quite fun. Still don't know how the wildcard works, though. You need to make the changes, and then you play the wildcard or what? I have literally zero idea. Just saying. Arsenal have changed. But yeah, sounds interesting. My tip: don't use the motion when picking a player. I tried to do that. I was asking people, should I triple captain Gyökeres for yesterday's game? People said no. I'm ready to strangle them all, seriously, because I would have gotten some proper points at least. After all the debacle I had with with Bruno Fernandes, the Kuiper, Munoz, what else is there? Palmer, Delap, and all them, man. Did everyone notice how much quicker and much more balanced our football was after when Yeri came on? Yep, 100%. I saw that and I was over the moon. Much more direct, much more balanced, more movement, more open spaces, more direct, more interesting, more dynamic, more threatening. Everything was much better. And if people use their eyes, they would actually realize it. But since they want to protect Odegaard just as much as they want to protect Arteta, they will never admit it. It comes in advance, every card. I have no idea what you're talking about, seriously. The difference here is Patrick Vieira was winning mentality captain that made the team win and had leadership. Exactly. Odegaard can't even help the team win with this little mentality. You could argue that partially he is one of the parts why we haven't won stuff 100%. I need to get Saka out. You need Palmer out. Oh, I need more than Palmer out. I need to change. I want to get the lap out. I need to get Palmer out. I want to take Bruno Fernandes out. I'm still thinking about to take Florian Wirtz out. I want to change 2 defenders out, so that's 6. And I need 2 changes on the bench, so that's 8 potential players I need to take out and remove them. Use whatever. It's next week. Exactly. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna wait till United Newcastle game finishes, or during the game during Newcastle's game tomorrow. We can do it all together and talk about it. You select your transfers you want, and then get to use the wildcard when you make the transfers. I see. Too early to triple captain. Someone triple captain Timber. Yeah, I saw. That's just some fluke luck. He scored 2 goals. He got 2 goals and an assist. I'm more impressed for the guy who triple captained Semenyo on game week 1. And someone else triple captain Ballard, a center back for Sunderland in the game week 1. How do you do that? How do you even do these things? I have no idea. By the way, Hendon, did you see this? Where is it? 134 points. 134 points. Someone had Timber on the bench with 24 points, which is actually kind of nuts if you think about it. Which is actually kind of nuts, if you ask me. Okay, it is what it is, I guess. It is what it is. I'm on 44 points, which is not bad based on the shit show I saw this weekend, but hey, it is what it is, I guess. I'd say I would like us to sign a left winger and a proper left back. I had no idea too. I had left 39 points on the bench, but I thought it would be used in the current week, but it's next days, and it's what I mean. Yeah, every week you get new points, like it changes. Sometimes FPL makes the changes for yourself if player gets injured or he doesn't play, and you can be in a hope that the player you have on the bench actually gets points and he auto subs it on for you. The FPL does that. I had that last week when Alex Moreno, obviously he got loaned out to a different team, hence I had him in the team before. He didn't play, and it auto subbed in for me Rodon, who was on 7 or 8 points last week. Let's be real, our first two captains in chain of command is not captain material. That is Odegaard and Saka, just passed and banned and being exactly. Rice is third or fourth choice captain behind Gabriel as well. So that is kind of nuts, but it is what it is, people. But yeah, I think on that note, I'm going to end today's stream. Y'all have been fantastic today. Big up to you all. I think we averaged about 30 viewers or something weird like that, which is quite phenomenal. Sorry, my camera has disappeared. It's doing something. That was something. Hello, focus. It doesn't focus, man. My camera is doing a meza today. I don't like it. But yeah, it's actually kind of nuts if you ask me how that went. But yeah, considering how many people have submitted teams to FPL, there are bound to be some fluky situations where an unexpected triple captain pays off. Yeah, but it's kind of nuts because this weekend, there was a guy who triple captained Timber, got 72 points, and had full midfield, 3 players of Burnley players that cumulatively got him 34 points. Who wakes up in the morning, puts in Burnley midfield of 3 players, and triple captains Timber, who still till the time the starting 11 got announced was 50-50 whether he's even going to play or not. Like, that is the nuts part for me overall. How does your mind even like take risk like that? For me, it makes no sense, but I guess I'm a bit different person, right? But yeah, time travel confirmed. Gamble, basically. But if it doesn't pay off, it's pain. But if it pays off, you are through the moon, obviously. But yeah, people, as Odegaard injured his Liverpool game, maybe he might be not. We'll see. Play Eze and him 1 year in the midfield, or Eze. I think Eze left when Yeri through the midfield. Or no. Eze in the 10. Martinelli on the left, solely because he needs to defend, needs to help to defend what's its face, Salah. But yeah, people, as I said, I'm gonna end the stream today. Hope you had a great time. I did. You were fantastic today. You were phenomenal today. So big up to you all. World-class chat and everything. Platinum certified and all this stuff. Like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new. Have a nice evening. Have a nice day tomorrow. If you have work, good luck. I have still vacation for 1 week, so I'm sitting pretty here. But yeah, for today, I am out. Take care, stay safe, and see you very, very soon. Peace.